Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AI Forward podcast series. I'm your host, Stephen Moeller, owner and CEO of Fluxion AI Solutions. Today, we're very excited to host Thiago Ferreira, founder of Elevate AI and adjunct professor at the University of Miami. Thiago is an MBA graduate of IE Business School in Madrid, where he served as president of the school's LGBTQ+ club. He's also an adjunct professor at the University of Miami, teaching a full 3-credit course, and an instructor at IE Business School, teaching AI strategy and implementation workshops to executive MBA students. He has led international business development efforts across the US, Canada, Spain, and Portugal, bringing a global people-first approach to technology. He also volunteers with Junior Achievement of Greater Miami, teaching entrepreneurship, investing, and other real-world skills to the next generation of leaders. His company, Elevate AI Consulting, helps businesses unlock the power of AI, simply and strategically. They specialize in hands-on multilingual support and training to automate complex processes like customer service, document preparation, marketing automation, and operational workflows. No matter which industry you're in, they'll match you with the right tools and show you exactly how to use them. No extensive tech background needed. Their work is rooted in a belief that AI should be built with humans at the center, not the other way around. So Thiago, let me just start with saying thank you so much for joining us today. Very much looking forward to this conversation. And, that last statement there, again, as founder and CEO of an AI solutions provider, I very much agree with you that we build our solutions with humans at the center, not the other way around, which is one of the intentions of this podcast series is kind of education and awareness and building trust with AI amongst the population. So with that said, why don't you, if you would please, tell us a little about you. Who is Thiago Ferreira? Life, professional experience, and anything else you care to share.
Yeah, no problem, Stephen. Thank you so much for having me, first of all, and thank you for that great introduction. So, as you mentioned, I am the founder and CEO of Elevate AI Consulting here in Miami, and I'm also an adjunct professor at University of Miami. And the story of my company is really quite simple. I was coming before from corporate background, typical corporate job, and that was right around the time when ChatGPT came out. I went to a AI conference here in Miami, actually, and I walked out of there really frustrated because it was an all-day-long conference. I think there were over 16 speakers, and panels and things like that. And not one person spoke about the needs of growing businesses. Every single speaker was talking about enterprise, enterprise, enterprise. I probably heard the word enterprise, 1,000 times that day.
Yeah.
And that's really when I identified this opportunity, that just like with the internet before and social media and companies like Google and Amazon and all of these giants that have come and really wrecked small businesses in America, right, taking so much of the market share, I could just see that AI was just going to make that exponential. And so I really wanted to launch a company that was human-focused and focused on developing solutions that are actually usable for humans, by humans, and that we can actually understand, not these mysterious AI, back-end things that nobody really seems to understand or talk about. I really wanted to make sure that not only are we building usable solutions, but that we can also understand how they work and what they're doing for us.
That's great, and I agree completely. Likewise, as a former corporate back office, corporate headquarters for large enterprise, the way in which AI is leveraged there and the effects of their AI is vastly different than like you or I as founders of startups that help small businesses, right? Small businesses are designed to build capacity, create revenue, whereas corporate, well, I think we all know how that's leveraged, right? It's a different story. We don't want to put people out of work. We want to empower them, right? We want to build capacity. So
And that's
So that's
exactly
great.
right,
Yeah.
and for us as a business, one of the things that we truly believe, and it's our motto really, is that we do not work on people reduction projects. So if your company is coming to us and your AI strategy begins with how many people can we cut, I will happily give you a referral to some great friends that I have that do the kind of work, but that is not what we are concentrating on. We are looking to work with businesses that actually want to hire more people, right? We want AI to make us more efficient so that we can grow our team, so that we can continue providing for these families. Because I talk to small business owners every day and they really care about their employees. And it just doesn't make sense to me that after you've spent all the time and money that it takes to recruit someone and then to hire someone and then to retain someone and keep them happy on your team, for you to then turn around and replace them with an AI system, there's not a single small business owner that I've talked to that that's what they're looking for. The business owners that I talk to are looking for ways to make their team more efficient, to take some of the work off their back, and to actually grow as a company, not get smaller.
I totally agree. And I've seen examples quite often where, say a company of 6, you give them the capacity of 12. However, they're generating more revenue, so potentially they can actually grow their sales force and their support structure. So, which
And
is a
that should be the
benefit.
goal, right? That should really be the goal. I don't think, something that I tell business owners that I talk to all the time is that these news that we see coming out of Amazon and Google, Google let go of 50,000 people, Amazon let go of however many people, those are not relatable to 95% of businesses in America, which are businesses that have 500 employees or less. We just can't relate to what's going on at Google, and we can't take cues from what's going on at Facebook. We really have to continue investing in our people and our teams, and that's what we aim to do as a company.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that. That's kind of stuff beyond the headlines. So it's good that we're having these discussions. So let's talk about something fun. Well, I mean, it's all fun. Tell us about, so you have a unique service model. You operate internationally, cross borders, so to speak, which I believe some is tied to your background, your education in Spain. Tell us kind of a little bit about how that works. And I assume you're not industry specific. You're kind of industry agnostic. But maybe tell us a little bit about your clientele and what you do.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate that I've had clients come to me from many different industries, from automotive to insurance to health and beyond. And I think that's because of that human first approach, right? And so the business model is we are a very lean company. I have a lead developer on my team. We just recently brought on a salesperson as well, and one person who is our answer engine optimization specialist now. And so really trying to stay lean, service across borders as much as we can, but at the same time not losing focus on our local market here, which is the US, which is truly our primary bread and butter.
Very good. Very nice. And maybe take us back to the beginning, like the beginning of the business. Kind of, all the time, every time, it's the owner gets an idea, they recognize a need, they recognize the gap. Tell us about how Elevation came to be.
Yeah,
Or
so
yeah.
actually, I joined after the conference that I was mentioning about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I left there with this idea, right? And right around that time, I happened to hear about this program called Innovating with AI, who's run by an entrepreneur called Rob Howard. And the focus of that program was exactly to help entrepreneurs launch their AI consultancy business. And so that was about 2 years ago. The program was really instrumental to starting the business. I'm really thankful to Rob and the entire team at Innovating with AI. I'm still a part of the program. In fact, now I sometimes even teach some lessons for them because they have weekly lessons on AI. And I'm just really thankful for all the support. And that's really what helped me get started, was having that foundation of the AI knowledge, but also the how to just start a business in general, right? I'm a first-time entrepreneur, so everything was pretty new. But it's really, it really helps to have a team like that behind you and a program with somebody that's not just trustworthy, but also available to help you on the day-to-day.
Yeah, very similar. This is my first technology startup, but Fluxion AI Solutions is backed by an organization called AI Acquisitions, which is international, started in the UK, and it's grown tremendously. So yes, they very much have the support blueprint for success, and can help you operate and when you're lean and help you grow. So that's definitely a blessing.
Yeah. And it's a matter of finding the right ones as well. There are so many programs out there and so many YouTube influencers, right? And people trying to sell you so many different things. At the end of the day, a lot of these programs are really, really good. It's just like the Innovating with AI program is great, but it's up to you as an entrepreneur, right? Like they can give you the formula, they can give you the base, the foundation, but you actually have to go out and get the clients and do the work.
Yeah,
and so it's really up to each person.
Yep, we control our own destiny. We get to be in the driver's seat. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
Very good, very good. So back to, tell me kind of about, so you're the founder. Tell me a little bit about like your role, kind of the day to day, and what you do as the founder of Elevate AI.
Yes, absolutely. So we do a few different things as a company, right? On one side, we do AI training and corporate trainings especially, and workshops, and our most popular product is actually our AI training bootcamp. And on the other side, we do development, strategy, governance, and all the fun AI buzzwords that you may hear on a headline. And for me personally, since I am also a professor at what I really love to do is teaching. So that's the part of the business that I handle on the day-to-day. Of course, I'm doing sales, marketing, and trying to stay as lean as possible. But when we close a deal that is training, I handle those directly, whether it's a boot camp or a workshop, because that's really the part of the business that I really enjoy. And when it comes to development projects, I have, as I mentioned, a trusted developer now on the team who takes care of that part of the business. But as a founder and entrepreneur, I think you probably agree with me that a lot of the job is just getting out there and getting in front of people, right? Like that's 90% of the work, I think. It's really networking, getting in front of people. Nothing's going to happen if you stay at home and just sit in front of the computer. You really have to put yourself out there, and so that's what I spend most of my time doing.
Yeah, and thank goodness for technology, because a lot of technology can facilitate all that stuff so that you can be client-facing, right? Because that's where it happens.
100%.
So, okay, great. Now, so you've had Elevate AI for a couple years, 3 years now?
Yeah, it's just about 2 years, yeah.
All right, so maybe talk to us, advice for any new startups. Talk to us about some of what's kind of been challenging that you've had to overcome.
Yes, so one of the things that was really challenging for us, especially in the beginning, but it's kind of changed now, is that number one, it was just so new, right? I would tell people I'm an AI consultant, and they would look at me like I was a crazy person because they've never heard of that, right? So it was interesting kind of breaking ground in that. But the other challenging thing was just the fact that AI is so deceivingly easy to use. Everybody can enter a prompt into ChatGPT and get a vague answer back, and they think they're an AI professional. And it hasn't been until recently that companies have really started to realize, no, wait a minute. We can't just put Claude or ChatGPT on the hands of our employees. We actually need to train them how to use it. And that's why we're seeing all over the news now, the conversation on AI has shifted from, everybody just being so amazed by everything that it can do, to companies actually asking, where is the ROI for all of these investments that we're making? Are we actually becoming more efficient? And so the market itself has been correcting, and managers have started to realize that training is not only required, but employees are demanding it. And so I think I was a little bit early to the game there, but now we've developed so many different products around that. For example, I just launched our newest offering, which is our AI training team building competition. So instead of taking your team to an escape room or a bowling alley or a random trust fall on those ropes, I don't know if you ever did that back in back in your
Yeah.
corporate days. Um, we've designed a half-day activity for employees that is just, it is completely designed around fun. The one rule is that you cannot build anything work-related, only crazy and wacky ideas. But the idea is really to get people working together, show them what AI can actually do, and build that confidence with AI, because I think a big part of the story right now is also that people are just unsure and even kind of afraid. And so combining the team building aspect with that competition
Yeah.
and the learning, I think is going to be a really great product for us. And we actually just launched that this week.
Yeah, that's great. And, kind of what we spoke to earlier, AI, people most often don't realize the actual potential of AI, right? Until you have someone such as yourself or myself that presents it to them. Hey, these are these tools that you can use. And some of this stuff's it's all out there. Everybody knows ChatGPT, whatever, that's a household name, but there's so much more out
So
there.
much more.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
much more. So,
And most people
yeah.
are still using ChatGPT and the other tools. They're still using it like Google. They're still just entering random keyword searches or vague prompts, and that's not going to get them to the promised land of AI efficiencies.
Exactly, exactly. So we talked about challenges, but what have been some of your biggest wins, Thiago, that you've achieved?
Yes. Honestly, the things that I feel the most proud of are the things that companies and I would call them students build during my boot camps, especially. It's really impressive to see how during the 2-day boot camp you can go from somebody barely having used AI to during the second day building a workflow for themselves or a solution that they can use the very next day. And so one that occurs to me, which was the most impressive thing that somebody has built during one of my boot camps, was a prompt library app for their team. So just in the second day of the boot camp, he was able to use, I believe he was using Replit for that, and built an entire app with security and users and a way to uprank and downrank prompts, and it became a really useful tool for the entire team, like I said, from the very next day, and I think it just speaks to what I was saying, that with just a little bit of training, anybody can build amazing things with AI, but it does take training. So I'm really proud of everything that people build during my workshops, and I'm constantly impressed as well. I'm constantly surprised and impressed.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. So talk about maybe kind of the state of your business today, and then the follow up. Where do you want to take it? What's next level for Elevate?
Yeah, so the state of the business today, we're growing, as I mentioned, growing our team. We actually, if any of your listeners are here in Miami, we're going to be a part of the Emerge Tech Conference that's coming up here in Miami Beach at the end of April. So that's what's next for us. I am presenting a workshop during the conference called Answer Engine Optimization and How to Dominate AI Search. And we just plan on keep growing from that. I'm really hoping that the conference is going to give us a lot of additional visibility as well and brand recognition that we don't have so far, and bring in more clients as well, obviously, as the AI search and answer engine optimization side of the business is really growing quick, as well as businesses have started to realize that this is actually a need beyond just SEO that we've been doing traditionally for years. We do need to pay attention to the AI search as well. So that is what is next on our agenda, is Emerge at the end of this month. And as far as down the road, I would like to think that this business has a lot of legs. I think we can grow a lot on the education side of the business, and on the development side as well. People are starting to realize that they can build things themselves, and I'm having a lot of companies come to us that maybe they started building something halfway through and they just need help just getting it over the finish line and adding some security and things like that. That's what I'm seeing out there as a trend, and I think that is set to continue. And so, the next, it's world domination.
Yeah, there you go. All right, great. All right, future goals. So, we talked about obviously AI is plays a huge role in your business. Maybe give us an insight what you've seen, and you touched on it a little bit. You know, you've been in a few years, which honestly is longer than most. Let's be honest. A lot of people are jumping into this business. So maybe give the listeners some insight on, you know, kind of where it was, what are some really neat, innovative things and kind of how it's evolved just in the short 2-3 years and potentially where you see it going.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really evolved quick, just like the AI industry itself has been evolving so quick. And in fact, I feel like every day is different. And that's one thing that I would say to entrepreneurs right now, whether or not you're in AI, is that you have to be ready to adapt, right? Like the market is changing so quick, the tools are changing so quick. And so that has been the trajectory for us for the past 2 years, has been adapting, trying to launch different and creative products, such as the team building competition that I mentioned, and just really trying to stay ahead of the curve and trying to be innovative. And AI, as you mentioned, obviously we're an AI consulting firm. It plays a huge role in the business. And that's something that, you know, I like to teach people as well. How do you use AI on a daily basis, right? Like what's Claude, and now that everybody's talking about Claude, what is Claude doing for you? Like what scheduled tasks do you have it running to keep you up to date on your emails, on your calendars? You know, like those are usually the easiest places to start with AI automations. And all it takes is a little bit of training and creativity as well. And so that's the state of things currently.
Yeah, great. All right. Well, before we wrap, a couple fun questions. So I'm curious, were you born in Brazil or Spain?
Yes, I'm originally from Brazil. My family and I, we moved to the US when I was just 13 years old. So I'm not going to tell you
Okay.
how long ago that was, but it's a long time.
Okay.
And so most of my life has been here in the US, although, as you mentioned in the beginning, I did do my MBA at IE Business School in Madrid. And from there, I was working in Portugal as well, so a lot of international experience. But my roots and my heart and my family are in Brazil.
Yeah, okay. Portuguese speaking. So you're trilingual,
Yes.
English, Portuguese, and Spanish. Good for you. Good for you.
Yes.
And then another fun question. So you may or may not be a foodie, but if anyone's in the Miami area, what's your top go-to restaurant you'd recommend?
Wow, that's a hard question. I'm definitely a foodie. I'm going to give you an interesting one. So there's this Peruvian restaurant here. They have a location in Miami Beach and in downtown as well. It's called Ceviche 105. It is not. It is not the fanciest restaurant or like a really bougie place that you would think of when you come to Miami. Although it's very, very nice spot, but it's the best place in Miami, I think, for the combination of like reasonably priced and high quality. You know what I mean? Whenever I have anybody come in from out of town, that's the number one place that I usually take them for sure.
Well, I'm definitely going to add to the list. You know, every major city I talk to people in, what's your top pick? You know, got to get the local knowledge.
If you happen to be down in Miami, if you happen to be down in Miami, let me know. I'll be glad to go with you. I'll go there anytime because it's really good.
Ceviche 105, you said?
Ceviche 105, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
They should pay me for this, huh?
There you go, yeah, there you go. All right, just one final thought. Any advice you could get to entrepreneurs, most importantly, entrepreneurs jumping into the technology or AI space today?
Yes, I think the number one thing we mentioned, which is really put yourself out there. I think for me, what was definitely true when I started the business is that I had a lot of imposter syndrome. You know, I think if I had gotten out of my own way in the early days, the business would be even bigger now than it already is, you know, but it does take time to build that confidence. And the only way that you do build that confidence is by putting yourself out there, making mistakes, having some wins, and just really getting out there. And as far as AI in general, one of the things that we always say as a company, and this is really important for entrepreneurs to know right now, is that you bring the intelligence. AI is just a tool, right? You're bringing the intelligence, you bring the strategy, you bring the thinking. The AI, the ChatGPT, the Claude, it has access to all the information in the world, but has no idea what to do with it until you tell it, until you prompt it, right? So you bring the intelligence, AI is just a tool. And I think if people remember that and remember, what we talked about from the very beginning, that AI should be here as a tool and a human-centered and human-focused, then we can continue really growing this technology in a really positive way.
Yeah, I agree. Still requires that human touch. So, and thank goodness for that. That's great, Thiago. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and your success story and all the great things you're doing, not only to elevate, but to educate entrepreneurs and make them successful. That's very important. So with that, folks.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, folks, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for viewing. Like and subscribe. And until then, be well, friends. Thank you very much.